Dremel part 1. Okay, let me open that. We will go step by step. Now this is the thing I have given. If you already gone through, that's fine. If it are not, see here. I'm just telling that 01 resource, open this so and so file. Actually we have done all these steps. So yesterday we have given all this and then supporting the methods also. After writing all the methods, it should finally look like 02 Acme Banking. Acme is the name of the bank. I mean, when I'm designing this YAML file, Acme is the name which I given for the API. So Acme Banking API.raml. After writing all the methods and for all the resources. So what to do? Under this YAML docs, there is something called 02 Acme Banking. Okay, let me open this. I've shown for writing for one resource, right? If I write for multiple resources, all the resources, it will be look like this. Copy and paste in your YAML file. Of course, the title changed. You can ignore that. So you can see once I apply for all the endpoints, get method, I mean, what are the according to the requirement, it will be look like this, right? Next, step 2, add base URI. Already yesterday I have added, but I got it done after copy pasting. So add media type as an application / JSON. That means, see, what is a media type? First of all, we'll add a base URI, then we'll add a media type. So base URI HTTP localhost /. Now you can see after that base URI, what I can write, I can add something called media type. What is this media type? It is supporting JSON or XML. Suppose if I give an XML, what do you mean by that? If I send a request for one of the endpoint, get / customers, it is going to give list of customers. The response in which format? XML format. That is a media type. That this media type will be applied for all the resources in your API. Suppose I don't want to get a response in a JSON. I want to get in a I don't want to get in a XML. I want to get in a JSON for the get / customers. What I can do, under this get method, there is something called responses. Okay, under this responses you can select if it is success. I want to support a status code. These are the status code, HTTP status codes. If it is success, I want to give 200 status code, right? And if it is 200, then the body of the response should be, just click on a body. Under that I want to write some properties, right? Or else what I can do, under that body I can simply suggest what I required, the type. 1 second now. 1 2 spaces. If alignment is missed, please write 2 spaces. So right now the body response type for this get / customers, I want to suppose JSON. So this type response type will override the response type of a media type. Okay, but remaining responses, it will be XML only, right? So like that you can override the media types for a particular request, particular response type. So after that, after adding like that, you can add 200 status code. At the same time, if it is error, okay, no need to worry, the architects will give what type of, I mean, not architects, sorry, client will give what is the status code you want to support for the particular resource if it is error, like that. So 400 status code, 500 status code, like that you can add. If I add 400 status code, what I want to do, 2 spaces as the delimiters, and under the body there is something called properties. See, these are the alignment is not getting perfectly. Actually it should come after 2 spaces. Under this property you can write any description. If you want, you can write a description, and you can specify the description type is what. You can specify any data type, string. If I want to go with the string, I can specify the string data type. So like that, the response type can be written for any resource, and we can add all the parameters for this in this session. So after adding all the status codes, if it is 200, 400, 500, if you are already adding all the status codes, by default it should look like fifth file. Okay, 400 status code I have added here, and status code 200 status code I have shown here. All this part of 3, 4, 5, fifth files. Okay, directly I'm going to a fifth file, and let me explain after copy pasting this. See, as is shown here, response type added 200 and a body, and 400 body. Another properties I can write status code, what type, you can specify the type. So this is, since it's a specification, you can specify the types for that. So get method similarly applied for the post method, and for the slash customer ID again get method, right? Patch method. So if you understand for a single resource, the same thing will be repeated for this all the resources. So you can see my YAML file is so big. If you see here, for the post method, okay, for the post method, what are the status code I have? 201 with a header and 503 with a body, right? Just come down. There is slash accounts, one more resource, post method, 201 and 503. Just come down, transactions, post method, 201 and 503. Is it not a duplicate? Is it not a duplication? That duplication in the sense repeated code with for all the post methods for all the resources, right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
If there is any common code, okay, if it is repeated, what we want to do, what we will do? Yeah, if it is a common code anywhere, not only here.
Global kind of thing.
Yeah, the concept is writing your global, and we can refer to that. Similarly, here also we can create a template wherever it is repeated. We can create a template for that and for the particular method, and we can refer the template to my main API, so that your file become very small. Your API will become a very small. So how to create that template and how to refer the template, we will see later. Right now. See, what do you mean by data types? Data types, predefined
Like
data types.
integer, string, characters,
All
date.
are the predefined data types, right? Now, whenever you are creating any banking application, you need to create your own data types. So, can anyone name a specific few data types which we can write here? For what you need to write a data type when you are creating an application? Customer. We are doing a specification. We required ICICI will be having a customer details in specific format. HDFC will be having a specific format. Like that, for your customer role, you need to have some type. How the type should look like, what are the fields should be look like for your customer. So customer will be having some data type structure. I have given in this document. You can see I want to create a customer data type, and account is also will be having some data type. You can see account data type, transaction data type. Now, in this customer, I have specified the type of a particular field, ID. Of course, I have given by default as a string. Now you can see the address. Address is a type of what?
That
Address
is
is type of what?
it's
Address
an
data type, right? So we need to create an address data type also. I have created an address data type also, right? Now, and we can see account type is an enum. What do you mean by enum? Enum, a
so,
specific type.
yeah, enumerated data type. So
Enumeration. Account type, it should be a checking or savings or overdraft or credit card type of account. So it should fit in the so and so element type, right? Like that, we can create a data types. So I can see here bank data type also I have created, right? So now I want to design these data types in my YAML file. So how to design? First, we need to create a folder. Okay, to create a data types, we need to specify a folder. How to create a file folder? See here on the file explorer, click on a plus sign, new folder. What is the name? Data types. Create. I'm just creating a folder. Okay, I got created a folder. Now I want to create a YAML file. For each and every data type, I want to create a YAML file. So how to create a YAML file? Again, just click on a plus sign, new file under the data types. So YAML 1.0, and what type of YAML file you want to create, you need to specify. These are the types we can specify the YAML files, right? So what type of file I want? Data type YAML file, and I want to give what type of YAML file I want to create. Suppose there is something called error. I will cancel this. Every customer, every endpoint is, if we get any error, we are following the same syntax: property, status code, and message. Property, status code, and message. So I will create data type, and I will refer the data type wherever I require. So how to create? Again, same, click on a new file. I want to create a custom error message right now. Okay, I want to create my own custom error message. So I want to create a data type YAML, and I want to give custom error message dot YAML create. Now you can see one YAML file got created of type what? Of type data type, right? Now how you to differentiate between a main YAML file and a sub YAML file? You can see after YAML 1.0 for the main YAML file, do you see any subtypes? No, right?
No.
This is the main YAML file. Or if I create a subtype YAML file like customer error message, custom error message, you can see what type of specification you have created at that point of time, that type will be displayed here, right? Now everything is an object. What is the type of this file? This type of this file is, you can specify any predefined data type. Right now I want to go with the object, right? Now in that, what I can do, I need to specify a properties. Under the properties, you can copy paste from here, or else you can do, you can write it. I'm just copy pasting from here. Alignment. So I created a custom error message data type, right? Now I can refer this data type to my main YAML file, and I can use wherever I require. So before that, before referring to the main YAML file, let me create custom, a customer data type, account data type, and a transaction data type. So in order to save some time, I already created the data types here. These folders will not be available by default for you. There is something called data types zip file, right? If you extract this data types folder, you can have data types, right? See, these all are the predefined data types we have given. So first, let me import all these data types to my YAML file from the local system. So how to import? Either you can import individual files, or else you can import a zip file as well, right? Right now I import a zip file. How to import particular folder into the particular folder? You can see three dots. Just click on these three dots. Into this folder I want to import. Import, choose a file. Here you can see labs and workspace. I actually extracted YAML docs. In that there is something called data types. Open. If you import, all the files are present under this will be imported. Now you can see. First, let me open this customer.YAML. So type is data type. What are the properties? Customer ID string, prefix question mark. What do you mean by question mark? Are you able to get anything from this question mark? In the data view, when I'm talking about data view, I discussed about the question mark there. Question mark. In data view, if we use a question mark, what is that? Is a transformation I told you. What type of operator it is? where the images, I want to execute that particular command, that means particular what you call images root tag when image is present in the particular product. Existence operator in the transformation, right? So see here, but in the data view, question mark is different. That means the representation here, the representation is totally different. Here the thing is, it's an optional. Prefix is an optional. Okay, like that first name, last name, suffix is an optional. Okay, and when you are writing a template, this question mark optional is going to play a major role. Okay, when you are creating a template means reusable assets. When you want to create a duplication code, if there is any duplication code, if you want to create any template, as I said earlier, we are going to create a template. At that point of time, again, I will explain what is the importance of this question mark and the optional thing, how it is going to play a major role. So customer.raml and account.raml, you can see I have defined a type, and you can see the enum, whatever I have given in this document. I have created all these as a data types, and I have imported into the data types folder. What is the next thing here? I want to import, I want to, or not import, I want to include these data types into my main raml file. How can I include? First we need to declare what is the type. Okay, what type of thing is this? I want to specify the type first. Once you specify the type, see the path which I'm going to take here, I can copy the path, I can include that path in this main raml file, right? So whenever you required in your main raml file particular customer.raml, simply give the path, right? But here the thing is, every time we cannot give a path in my main raml file, right? So I will take that into some variable. So I'm using a customer is a variable name, alias name, you can call it as alias, and I can include that customer.raml. So you can copy the path and you can directly include, or else you can use a syntax like exclamatory include. What I'm doing, I'm including what? Control space. It will give the what are the folders available, data types. Under this data types folder, what I want to include right now, customer.raml. You can see immediately under this data types what and all are available, it is showing on a shelf, customer.raml, right? Now I included, but it is showing some error here, project errors. You can click on this up arrow. What do you mean by this? Unresolved reference address means what? Yes, it's very self-explanatory. Unresolved reference address means in this data types, customer.raml is having some address, right? So if you include that in main raml file, it is looking for the address data type also. So I need to include address also. I'm taking into alias name. And how to include? How to include? Yeah, but include. You can directly take, another option is directly take the path, copy path and paste here. Now the error is gone. Error is gone. Right? So like that, you can include all the data types and you can take it into some alias names. So after writing all these data types, your file should look like this. So of course I'm copy pasting here because the same thing applies for all. That's why I'm copy pasting. But while you're practicing at least for one time, unless you get a conference, please don't copy paste. Right? Now why I'm getting this error? If I hover the mouse onto that, can anyone identify? How can I rename the folder? Just click on these three dots, rename. Instead of changing at my what you called in my raml file, I'm just directly changing in my folder name. So it got included, right? Now we can see under this get slash customers, If I give a request for get customers, what is the body type I am getting here? We are supporting both of JSON or XML. It's up to the user or who are going to use it. Okay, he can get output in a JSON or XML format. But what is the type? What is the type?
Customer.
Array.
Customer. That means what? From where I'm getting this customer name? That means to what I'm referring to here. The response type. Do you think that customer.raml file? Am I referring to this data type? Of course, right? I'm referring to this data type only. But instead of giving a path, I have taken into the alias name. So this is the alias name. If I change to C here, I have take if I take the path into C, I need to change the type as a C. Okay, this is an alias name, not a main raml file name. That means the customer dot raml file name, not that one. Okay, why it is array? Why I have given as an array? See, if I send a get slash customers, is it going to give list of customers, right? Every customer record should contain that data type. So customer type array. All the data, all the customers should follow the, should have a customer data type, right? And you can see the body of the 400 status code. If it is error, what data type it is referencing to? Custom error message. Of course, I have duplicates here which I have created. This is the one which I have created. I can delete it because already while importing I already created that. So whatever I created, I can delete. Just click on these three icons, three dots, and you can where is this? Delete. Okay. Now, like that, you can refer entire YAML file I referred in such a way, right? Wherever I require. Now, see, while as I said, while developing your application, while developing your API, you want to get a feedback from the client, right? In order to check whether the design is perfectly according to his expectations or not. If you want to get a feedback, you need to publish onto the Exchange and you want to publish onto the portal, right? Assume that you are given access to your API and it is deployed on a working server. And if you click on how you can click, if you click on a get request, you need to get some customer details, right? So that he can feel that he is getting some. He's getting some response so that he can understand. Yeah, it is working. So what I can do right now in order to give such kind of a feel to the customer, can I initialize that some dummy data to my customer.raml so that if he in a sense a client, if we click on one of his one of the method, immediately the response you will get in a such format, whatever I will initialize. So the example data, whatever I'm going to give, will be given as a response so that he can feel as if he's getting the original data. So what I want to do, I need to give some example data to my data types, right? So how to create some examples? Understand now why we are creating examples? In order to give search kind of field to the client. So we are initializing some dummy data to the customers. Okay, while the implementation, of course, it will connect to the database and it will get the data. But in the mocking, in the while developing this API, we can't do that, right? So we are giving some dummy data as an example. Now, how to create some examples? Click on a files, new folder. Again, you need to create a folder like examples. We can specify a type. Examples. Now, let me expand. I can import a file which already exists. That means I already created for account, customer, and a transaction. Let me import that. Before I show how to import zip file, let me show you right now. Examples folder. I have an examples folder. Here we have three examples: customer example, account example, transaction. Let me import a customer example.raml. You already saw how to create a space, any file, normal file, right? A customer error message I have shown you, customer error message. Same way you can create any YAML file by giving a specification. So right now I want to give a customer example.raml which I have created. Import. Let me import all, then I will explain it. You can zip this and you can import as well. Just I want to show you how to import individual file. So you can see customer example. So just I have given some dummy data. I have initialized some with some dummy data here, right? So, but now, do I need to refer this example to my customer.raml? That is the data type. Yes, right. So that the initialized data, whatever I have given, it will be applied to this data type, right? So how to include one YAML file to another YAML file? Now take the cursor back to the end of the particular line, click on enter, take the alignment back to the where the property starts. Here you can see whenever you want to include any example to your data type YAML file, you can simply use example or examples. If you are including one example file for this data type, you can use an example key. If you want to use examples, multiple examples, then you can use examples key. Okay. Now the one of the bug got resolved. What was the bug is, if you are using single example also, when you are referring a single example also, it is allowing only example. Now, yeah, whenever you were referring a single example also previously, it was allowing only examples key instead of example. While the implementation, it is a huge problem. So now that issue got fixed. No need to worry. If you're referring a single example, you can use a example key. So I have given example. Now, how to include this customer example.raml file into this customer.raml file? Exclamatory include. Simply directly take the path instead of doing all this. Take the path and give the value. Now you can see the initialize on the UI. You can able to see whatever the data got initialized. Example data. Similarly for the account.raml also. Example include. 1 second. Account.raml, right? Copy path. Like that, you can refer for all the YAML files. That means whatever the example you have created, right? Assume that I have referred. Do I need to refer these examples to my main YAML file? Already this data type is already referred indirectly. That examples are already referring here, right? Now, what is the next thing? Assume that in your organization, there is some other team who are creating the same kind of a specification. They also required same kind of data types and same kind of an examples. You already created that, right? So, do you really think that they need to create again? You already created, no? If they are having the same kind of requirement, same kind of data types and same kind of an examples, do they really require to write again? Not required, no? But how we can share these data types and examples to some other team in your organization? Very simple. You can create a fragment. Fragment is nothing but a reusable assets. Reusable assets. These are my assets. Data types and examples are my assets. So now, if I publish these data types and examples as a fragment to my exchange, right? So any other team can log into this account and go to the exchange and he can search with the name of your types. That means name of your fragment. So that what will happen? He can pick that fragment and he can use in his API, right? So I'm going to show you here. I already shown how to create a specific files and how to create a reusable assets. At the same time, I'm going to show you how to publish that reusable assets onto the exchange. so that you can also, if it is already available, you will also come to know how to get from the Exchange. Some other people, some other team members have written and published onto the Exchange. You will come to know how to get from the Exchange as well. So right now, what we are going to do, we are going to create a fragment and publishing onto the Exchange, right? Then, if I published onto the Exchange, can I also use from the Exchange only instead of from the local file system? Yes, right? For my main API, if I publish these data types and examples as a fragment of the Exchange, I can directly retrieve from the Exchange. That is the best practice always, instead of getting from the local, right? So first, how to create a fragment. I want to create a fragment. Go to the design center. Create new. You can see there is a fragment. Create a fragment. I can give the name now. Anish banking data types. Okay, what type of, mainly I'm using a data types, right? So I'm using a specific type. So create a fragment. So fragment is also nothing but a raml file, right? Now for this fragment, I want to add a data types and examples, and that fragment will be published onto the Exchange. So you already know how to add a fragment, how to add a data types, and how to add an example. Simply clicking on a folder, you can create that, right? Now already I've created here, right? So what I can, you ignore about that main raml file. I already have in my local these data types and examples, correct? So by zipping this only two data types and examples, I have created one more zip file, banking data type, so that I can import it. So how to import? Yes, please.
Folder and then you can
Not required. Already folder is created. I just want to import this zip file. Very simple here.
plus
What you
mark.
said is correct. If you click on the folder and under that folder, you can see three dots. Right now, I want directly to import onto the raml file. So there is something called here after publish. There is something called setting button. You can see import option. Import what? This banking data types for zip file. Import. Just click on enroll. These data types and examples, of course, I have given multiple raml files here. Raml 1, raml, customer example 1, multiple examples, okay, in these data types. So these are the reusable data types here. Reusable as not data types, always I'm telling the data type. Reusable assets, okay. Now I created a fragment with a name, Anish banking data types. Now what I can do, I can publish the fragment out of the Exchange. Click on a publish. There is an option called publish to Exchange. Here you can see the versioning, asset version. I'm just giving the version, right? And publish to Exchange. Including all, by default, make it as an by default, check this box, include unreferenced files. Suppose in the examples folder, I have multiple examples. In the data type customer.raml, I have referred only one example, and that's why it is asking two more remaining non-referenced files are there. Do you want to include that referenced files, unreferenced files? Of course, yes. Always, if you want to publish the entire reusable assets, always click unreferenced files also. Now, your Anish banking data types is published successfully onto the Exchange. If you click on this Exchange, it will route to the Exchange under that account. Go to the asset list. You can see under this very called way is my company name, right? So under this way, I can see few fragments and free APIs also. So how to differentiate between a fragment and API? You can see API specific fragment and it is in a blue color, right? So right now I have imported this one. So if you click on this, you will be getting all the data types and all. So we can see the API also, REST API, which is in a green color. So differentiate, we can differentiate from this. So who are having an account with this way, they can log into the exchange. I can search for the API. Sorry, not API, fragment with the name. Now you can see provided by MuleSoft. These all are the APIs provided by MuleSoft, right? These are provided by myself. That is our company, right? Now let me go back to the main API. Yeah, this is my main API. Now I'll refer this from the local file, local, right? So I don't want to do it from local. Right now I want to get it from the Exchange because that data types and examples are already available in Exchange. So how to get it from the Exchange? First, you need to add as a dependency. How to add as a dependency? You can see here Exchange dependencies, right? Just click on this option and add as a dependency. So I logged into the Exchange. What is the name of my fragment? Anish banking data type. Just now I created and add this as a dependency. Created by who? The owner. Now you can see it is added and you want to show in a file system. Just click on this and show in files. So previously I have a data types and examples. You can delete that if you refer from the Exchange. This is the path where your data types and examples are located. So these are the copy, right? Now what we can do, there is a customer.ramen. Now you can see customer.ramen and the customer example1.ramen, right? Which is referencing to customer.ramen, right? Like that we already referred. What I can do, I will go to main ramen file. Instead of creating this from the local, what I can do, directly simply refer from the Exchange, right? I'm getting any error? No, right? Like that we can refer all the data types from your Exchange from the as a dependency. It is added dependency. From that we can add it as a here, right?